At the beginning of the film, we see the desert region of China. Here, a group of bandits are being pursued by soldiers. To escape their enemies, their very brave leader, William, instructs his men to release some horses. This way, the pursuers would chase the horses, allowing them a chance to escape. That's exactly what happened. As soon as they released 2 horses, the soldiers went after them, and the bandits seized the opportunity to get away. That night, the group takes shelter in a cave. They reveal the secret that they came here to find a very special black powder. Their journey was perilous from the start. They had already lost over 20 people, and they had very few supplies left to survive. Just as they were considering retreating, the shadow of a creature appeared. The creature emerged and attacked the group, resulting in the deaths of all the remaining men except for William and his friend. The creature monster attacked again, but William fought back, knocked it down, and cut off its arm. They were baffled by what kind of beast they had killed because it was very strange. Sensing danger, they decided to leave the place immediately, as their current location was unsafe. The next day, they resumed their journey, but the soldiers found them again. They tried hard to escape with the enemy hot on their heels. Finally, they reached a massive wall on the outskirts of China, the Great Wall, which is also the name of this film. Suddenly, a shower of arrows rained down on them. They narrowly escaped, but their chances of survival were slim. Therefore, William decided to surrender to the Chinese soldiers inside the wall, hoping they would spare his life. The commanders of the Great Wall were surprised when they saw the large piece of hide William had brought with him. Commander Lin Mai asked how William obtained it. William replied that he had single-handedly killed a creature monster and brought the hide as proof. Hearing this, the Chinese commanders laughed and mocked William, not believing a single word. However, a strategist who was responsible for gathering information was convinced that these outsiders might be telling the truth, as he found green creature blood on their weapons and clothes. But before any conclusion could be reached, a soldier came running with news. From his watchtower, he had seen numerous enemies rapidly approaching the wall. Upon hearing this, the general immediately ordered his armies to prepare for war. William and his friend were quickly taken to the top of the wall. There, a massive army stood ready with weapons and colorful battle attire. Their armor was made of metal. William was amazed by the magnificent sight of the armies. Although the soldiers were divided into different units with different roles, their coordination was impeccable, and their functions were clearly distinguishable by the colors of their armor. The most distinct among all the units were the soldiers in blue armor, led by Commander Lin Mai, and they were all women. All the soldiers marched to the edge of the wall and prepared large weapons for the impending battle. They waited eagerly for the enemy, and then their attention was drawn to a horde of green monsters approaching from a distance. These were their real enemies. The monsters roared loudly in anger and moved closer to the united wall. Although arrows showered down on them from all armies, they still managed to reach the wall. The women in blue armor rappelled down towards the monsters and attacked them with their weapons. After striking, the male soldiers quickly pulled them back up. Despite their best efforts, many soldiers were killed by the monsters, who managed to escape alive. After a while, the queen of the monsters appeared from a distance, accompanied by many of her monster bodyguards, to better command the battle and make it more dangerous, aiming for victory. The queen only needed to issue commands and order dangerous attacks for this to happen. When Lin Mai saw this, she informed the general, who immediately dispatched a soldier, the keeper of a large weapon, to fire at the queen. The soldier attacked with the large weapon, but the queen's bodyguard swiftly blocked the attack and saved their leader. The queen roared in anger and communicated with the rest of the monsters. She ordered them to change tactics and use their powerful bodies to scale the wall. Upon receiving this order, the monsters quickly climbed the wall and began attacking the soldiers, throwing them off the wall with their tremendous strength. Seeing the danger, William tried to save his friend's life. Surprisingly, another foreign prisoner immediately cut their ropes and freed them. A soldier saw his comrade being killed by a monster. Though terrified, he still charged to attack the creature, but the monster easily pushed him back. Just as the monster was about to kill the soldier, William leaped into the air, grabbed a spear, and thrust it straight into the creature's mouth. The monster thrashed violently and pushed William back. But with his friend's help, William attacked the creature again, and together they killed it by stabbing it in the heart. William's friend picked up a red banner from the ground and shook it to divert the attention of another monster, much like in a bullfight, so the creature would charge straight at him. This gave William an opportunity to use an arrow and kill the monster. As the creature made its final lunge, his friend barely escaped. Seeing so many of her companions dead, the queen ordered the monsters to retreat using sound waves. The monsters withdrew, taking the bodies of their fallen comrades with them so that humans could learn nothing about them. After this victory, the Chinese commanders approached William and his friend, immediately lowering their weapons as a gesture acknowledging their cooperation. The general praised their bravery and assistance in the battle and decided they should be given separate quarters instead of being imprisoned. A senior soldier also came to thank William for saving his life, noting that William could have let him die. Afterwards, they met the prisoner who had freed them. He revealed that he too had come here 25 years ago in search of black powder but had been imprisoned ever since. He showed them the mysterious black powder they sought and assured them there was enough for the three of them. The prisoner suggested that as soon as the next battle began, they should escape in the chaos. While they were talking, the strategist summoned them for an urgent meeting after finding a magnet in their luggage. The strategist believed this magnet was the reason William could kill the monster so easily the first time, as it probably weakened the creature. It was revealed that the monsters were called Daotir and came to Earth from another planet, a star, 60 years ago. Every 60 years since, these creatures emerged to attack northern China. They devour everything to feed their queen, enhancing her strength and multiplying their numbers. China's capital, with 2 million people, was only 300 miles away. If the creatures continued to grow and the queen kept gaining strength, their numbers would become limitless, and they would spread across the world. At that moment, the general noticed soldiers were missing from the West Tower and went to investigate with Commander Lin Mai. The soldiers took their positions, but everyone was surprised that the monsters weren't physically visible this time. The soldiers advanced and then saw a creature in front. The general spotted the reflection of another Daotir lying in ambush behind them. Both monsters attacked simultaneously. The general tried to stop the Daotir from behind but was injured by the creature while saving Commander Lin Mai and was mortally wounded. The entire army arrived later, but it was too late to save their leader. With his dying breath, the general ordered a senior officer to be appointed as the next commander and advised him that these monsters were highly intelligent and strategic, warning him never to take them lightly. A grand funeral was held for the general. Everyone mourned their leader. Thousands of lanterns were released into the sky so the general could rest in peace in the afterlife. Soon, a Chinese officer arrived with records written 60 years ago during the previous monster war. The previous general had reported that the creatures became paralyzed, their limbs stopped working, after which they chased the soldiers to the mountains, where there was also a magnet similar to William's. To test how the magnet affected the creatures, William suggested capturing a Daotir alive using a large hook, similar to whaling. However, William's friend was unhappy with this plan and reminded him that their original plan was to escape with the black powder. Meanwhile, the strategist prepared many tranquilizers and applied them to the hooks to capture a creature alive. Soon, the Daotir arrived in large numbers, attempting to stealthily scale the wall. The soldiers fought back in self-defense. Large blades emerging from the wall sliced the creatures apart, while warriors angrily attacked the Daotir on the battlements. Lin Mai ordered the attack with harpoons. One by one, large hooks were launched at the monsters, striking many. As soon as a hook found its mark, chains were secured. However, the monsters soon realized the humans wanted to capture them alive and began breaking the hooks. All but one managed to free themselves. Meanwhile, the prisoner tried to convince William's friend to escape during the war, but his friend refused to leave William behind. William also considered leaving the Chinese army, but at the last moment, he returned to help the commanders capture the last Daotir still chained. To isolate this monster from the others, the army attacked with numerous bombs, creating a massive ring of fire around it. Realizing the chain wouldn't hold long, William rushed to the monster, secured it further to bring it back, but was suddenly attacked by enemies and fought for his life. Luckily, his friend arrived and saved William, scolding him for not following their escape plan. During their argument, more monsters emerged from the fog and attacked. William and his friend fought them together for a long time, eventually killing them by shooting them in the eyes. The monsters breached the wall of fire and attacked in greater numbers, but the Chinese army bombed the Daotir, saving both men. They quickly placed the captured monster in a cage and tested the magnet's effect. Remarkably, as soon as a soldier brought the magnet near the monster, it stopped moving completely, demonstrating the magnet's power. After this, they sensed the presence of monsters near the base and went down to investigate. Everyone was shocked to discover that the creatures had dug a massive tunnel under the wall. All the previous battles were merely a deception to distract the army. Simultaneously, the prisoner and William's friend planned to steal the black powder and escape the Great Wall while the army was busy. But William stopped them, wanting his friend to stay and fight alongside them against the dangerous monsters. His friend believed William was wasting his time, as he saw no chance of victory against the monster army. While they argued, the prisoner knocked William unconscious and told his friend to leave him behind, as this was their last chance to escape. Commander Lin Mai soon discovered their escape plan and was furious with William. However, William repeatedly insisted he had tried to stop his friend. Lin Mai's anger subsided only when a warrior testified that he had indeed heard William trying to prevent the escape. Lin Mai immediately ordered the traitors imprisoned, and William was locked in a cell to prevent further interference with the army's plans. To reach the capital, Lin Mai decided to use hot air balloons. However, this method was untested and very dangerous for the operators. Despite the risks, Lin Mai gave the order. Many people died trying to launch the balloons using fuel made from black powder, and only a few soldiers survived to depart for the capital. After a while, William was released and immediately ran outside, where one balloon remained. He asked what had happened. The strategist told him they had failed to stop the Daotier, who were now breaking through the wall. Commander Lin Mai had ordered William's release before she herself left for the capital. The strategist told William their only hope now was to kill the queen, as her death would paralyze all her monster companions, rendering them helpless and allowing them to be killed. William decided to follow Lin Mai so they could join forces to save humanity from destruction. By this time, Commander Lin Mai had reached the capital, but the entire city was swarming with hungry monsters. Her team tried to reach the palace, but the Daotier attacked them. They fought for their lives. The monsters surrounded Lin Mai and roared loudly at her. Just before she was killed, William arrived to help her, pulling her into the air. Using bombs, he pushed the monsters back, and then they both flew into the palace. They retrieved the captured Daotier from the tower and planned to use bombs to destroy the creature. The plan was to move through the gutters, attach bait and bombs to the monsters, and lead them to the queen, creating an opportunity to kill her with the bombs. However, the plan went awry when the creatures discovered their location and killed most of the team members. Only one warrior survived, though he was severely injured. Suddenly, many Daotier attacked in the underground tunnel. Seeing this, the warrior decided to sacrifice himself by detonating the bombs, blowing up the monsters and blocking the path. Without wasting time, the warrior immediately opened the cage door and released the monster tied to the bomb. As soon as the magnet was removed from the creature, it woke up and, exactly as planned, began eating the bait given to it and ran straight outside towards its queen. The three people reached the tower, with the warrior guarding the door and managing the magnet. William and Lin Mai ran upstairs to get a clear shot for the bombs. William shot an arrow containing a bomb at the queen, but her bodyguards blocked the attack. The arrow deflected and exploded mid-air, alerting the monsters. William quickly climbed higher up the tower to try again, but the queen ordered all her companions to attack the building, causing all the monsters to storm the tower. Meanwhile, the warrior threw a magnet at his companion and was killed by a monster. William attempted a second shot, but the creatures blocked the arrow again, and it exploded in the air. This allowed the queen to finally spot her attackers, and she ordered all her companions to charge upwards. With only one bomb left, the two jumped out of the window, escaping the Daotier chasing them by hanging from a rope. William threw the magnet at the bodyguards and immediately followed up, causing the magnet to slow the creature's movements. The bomb fell inside the barrier. The queen tried desperately to extinguish the fire, but a massive explosion destroyed everything, and all the creatures were blown apart. As the queen died, all the Daotier were completely paralyzed and collapsed to the ground. Thousands of monster corpses littered the palace, and humanity finally emerged victorious. William returned to the Great Wall and found his friend captured by the Chinese army and held in a cell. William was given a choice, his friend's life or the black powder. William chose to save his friend's life. He decided to leave, having realized that friendship was more valuable than any treasure. He departed with the army while Lin Mai watched him from above. It was a silent farewell, as the two had developed feelings for each other. William also looked back, feeling that he would definitely return to this place someday. And with that, the story of this film concludes.